Yes, it's that time again, the time that you have been waiting for. It's the time for the Diski preview show. My name is yours truly, Mr. E.
And I'm uThisha weDiski. And we're here once again to give you our views, opinions, and predictions on the biggest soccer games available for the weekend.
Today we are taking a look at the game featuring Ivory Coast, the Elephants. They will be trading blows with Morocco, the Atlas Lions. But before we do that, just a quick reminder, for if you want to speed up betting in one of our stores, you can make use of the EasyBet Soccer coupon. It's available countrywide. All you have to do is to mark your selection with an X, take it to one of our cashiers. They'll be able to scan it onto the system, and in a matter of seconds you'd have managed to lay a bet.
Definitely betting made much simpler.
Certainly, uThisha weDiski. Now let's take a look at our featured game for today. Yes, as promised, we now take a look at the big game between Ivory Coast, the Elephants. They'll be welcoming Morocco, the Atlas Lions. And this is an international friendly. And with me in the studio to try and unpack about this game is yours truly, uThisha weDiski. And ladies and gentlemen, the nicest thing about him is that it doesn't charge any school fees.
I believe in free education for all, Mr. E.
Yes, Tisha.
It's spot on, Mr. E. It's definitely a big one. I mean, on paper, it's regarded as an international friendly, but it's definitely nothing friendly about this game. I mean, if you look at the history of both these nations, that's Ivory Coast and Morocco, they both have a rich history. They both have done very well on the African continent. You look at Ivory Coast, they're actually the host of the next edition of the AFCON, that's AFCON 2024. You look at Morocco, who still in fresh in our minds that they actually done very well in the last edition of the World Cup. I mean, they got as far as the semi-finals. So you can tell that both these teams are actually capable of doing very well and represent the African continent very well.
Yeah, these are certainly two big teams, uThisha weDiski, and as you rightfully say, it looks like the bragging rights will be at stake when the two teams go head to head, uThisha weDiski.
Yes, most definitely, Mr. E. I mean, if you look at Morocco, they're currently ranked second in Africa, and I'm sure they will be wishing to be top, taking nothing away from Senegal. And then you look at Ivory Coast, on the other hand, they're currently ranked 9th, still in the top 10. I mean, but if you look at the previous class of Ivory Coast, remember the class of Drogba and Malouda and those kind of guys. I mean, they were once ranked first and second. So they definitely be looking to push up. That's the current players to at least be ranked there in the top 5 or even top 3.
Yeah, certainly Ivory Coast, they will want to beat the semi-finalists of the World Cup, and I think to them that's going to be a big win if they manage to do that as they prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations that will be held in January next year. Who do you think is going to win the Africa Cup of Nations next year, uThisha weDiski, in January?
Oh, that's a tough one, Mr. E. That's a tough one, Mr. E. I mean, if you look at all the participants, half of those nations have actually won it before. Senegal being ranked first, coming to this tournament as favorites, but also Morocco being ranked second and who have fairly done well in the previous World Cup are also favorites. And on the other hand, you got nations which are now regarded as small nations, but they're not really small. Nations like South Africa, I mean, who still regard themselves as one of the best nations in Africa. They'll also be looking to do fairly well. So it can go either way, Mr. E. I think it might be a surprise.
Yeah, so uThisha weDiski is saying it might be a surprise. And by the way, Ivory Coast, once they're done with dispatching Morocco, as they would want to do, they will be welcoming Bafana in another international friendly. Do you think Bafana will be able to do better this time around, uThisha weDiski?
Another interesting game, Mr. E. I mean, you just spoken about Ivory Coast hosting both Morocco and Bafana. Definitely some tough games for them, but luckily for them, I mean, they post a huge number of players who are playing in your top 5 leagues. I mean, on Ivory Coast, you have players like Diallo, who's playing for Man United. You have players like Traoré, who's doing wonders there at AC Milan. So would definitely be impact players in both those games. And on the other hand, for Morocco, you have players like Hakim. We all know Hakim, the great defender, who's currently playing in PSG. You have Nesri, who's scoring week in, week out there at Sevilla. You have Amrad, who's playing for Man United. So you can can see both these teams have actually a huge number of players who are playing in your top 5 leagues. That will definitely make both these fixtures that you've just spoken about great games.
Yeah, Ivory Coast boasting of a lot of talent. The same thing can be said with Morocco. What a talented country Morocco is. Remember, they went as far as the semi-finals of the World Cup, a first for the African giants. Now let's take a look at their head-to-head encounters. Tisha, weDiski, how have they fared of late?
Both these teams, they haven't met any meetings previously, let me say, in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
The last encounter they had was in 2019. That was the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
I remember Morocco winning that game by 1-0.
Yeah.
That goal scored there by Nesri, assist by Amarat.
Yeah.
Before then, they actually met in the World Cup qualifiers. That was in 2017. Morocco again came out victors, winning the game by 2-0.
Yeah.
Before that game again, that was in 2017.
Yeah.
Morocco winning that game again by 1-0. So it's been a while since both these teams have met, but on those occasions where they actually met, Morocco came out tops, and they will definitely be looking to add on that by winning this game again. Ivory Coast, on the other hand, I mean, those are stats that they don't want to hear. They haven't scored in the past 3 games. Not talking about winning, just scoring itself. So coming to this game, hosting this game, they definitely be looking to score, and they'll be definitely looking to win this game.
Yeah, the previous encounters for Ivory Coast, they dispatched Burkina Faso by 1-0, but later on went on to lose to the Southern African giants of Zambia by 3-0. Now let's take a look at other games that will be taking place. Norway, they will be going head-to-head with Spain. This is a Euro qualifier, by the way. While Turkey, they will be welcoming Latvia. Italy, they will exchange blows with Malta, and the last game is Denmark. They will be trading blows as well with Kazakhstan. Tisha, weDiski.
Well, some interesting features that you mentioned there. That's in the Euro qualifiers. And to our viewers, what me and Mr. E have done, we've actually booked the games that Mr. E has spoken about. I have made my predictions, Mr. E has made his predictions, and then we have those booker bet codes available at the bottom of the screen, and the games that he's spoken about will follow after this video. So simply take any booker bet code, the predictions that you believe in, or simply take both of them to any of our stores nationwide and place your bet. That's
life made easy by Bedfred. Thank you very much for watching the Diski preview show. And by the way, Tisha, weDiski, where are you watching this match?
Definitely watching this match in Tembisa, 1632.
Oh, well, I'm going to be in Soshanguve. Thank you very much for watching, Tisha, weDiski.
Yes, Mr. E, and to our viewers, thank you very much for supporting us and watching our show. Please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe.